Hello there. So today we'll be taking a look at some of the things you should consider before starting a side hustle. Now, there are people who are not comfortable with the word hustle, but believe me, it's all in good faith. What is a side hustle? A side hustle is any other income earning activity you do besides your 9 to 5. So any other thing you are doing on the side that earns you extra money. It is very important to have one. Reason being that the cost of living is astronomical, and it is not something that is peculiar only to Nigeria. Globally, life, the standard of living just keeps increasing day by day. Apart from that, if you're thinking of having a retirement plan, it is equally important to start your side hustle early so that by the time you retire from active service, you still have something that keeps you busy and makes you feel alive. But before you get started, here are some things that you must keep in mind. One of the first challenges you will face is deciding what to do. What should you do? How will you stand out? What will you do that will set you apart from the crowd? I suggest that at this point, you begin to look at your hobbies. Perhaps you're a very good photographer. Do you want to monetize that? Maybe you're a very good proofreader. Do you want to start proofreading people's literary work for a fee? Maybe you're an excellent gardener. You can make money from flowers. So, first of all, take a look at your hobbies, especially the ones you really enjoy and the ones that you're particularly good at. If you don't have any hobbies, there's another video I did a while back advising us on how we can make money from our skills. So what are your skills? If you're a skilled cook, you can consider making meals, pastry, small chops and things like that for people's events and occasions and so on and so forth. And you'd make good money from that as well. Point number 2, figuring out how to start. So you've reached a decision on what you want to do. How do you get started? How do you raise the funds to get started? That is critical. At this point, I would say that if you are already a salary earner, start saving. You can join some kind of saving scheme in the office. You can do a dashi. You can do any of these other things that will help you to get a bulk sum of money after some months that you can now put into buying the tools that you would need to get started. So that is one way. Another way is to approach friends or family members that believe in you and would be willing to give you a grant, that is willing to dash you money to get started. This is not money that you are going to pay back, just some kind of contribution to help you get started at all. So those are 3 different options that you can explore. Start saving money from your salary, join a local savings scheme. You can equally ask for handouts from close friends or family members that believe in you and would want to see you do well. Number 3, and one of the most difficult ones when you're considering starting your side hustle, is time management. You don't want the time you put into your side hustle to conflict with the time you're meant to be putting into the work where you earn a salary. That would be cheating. It is not in good faith. And at the end of the day, you wind up stressed out if you have not managed your time properly. So you need to find a way to make sure that every minute you spend in the office is actually put to good use doing office work. Many of us come back home with office work because while we were in the office, we were busy making friends, chatting, gossiping, gisting. And then at the close of business, you find that you didn't really end up doing much work and you find yourself bringing work home. learn how to manage your time efficiently so that you'll be able to separate your salary work from your side hustle. And how do you make time for your side hustle? I would say look at your Saturdays. Consider that you have a 6-day work week rather than a 5-day work week. Okay? Then you use your Sundays to rest. I strongly encourage people to rest. I am not the kind of person who believes that people should work round the clock non-stop. So Monday to Friday, you devote to your actual place of work where you earn a salary, and then Saturdays you commit to growing your side hustle. So that's it with regard to time management. Point number 4, and this one can be extremely challenging: staying motivated. You see, every now and then I see people saying on social media that when you start a business, the last set of people that are likely to patronize you are usually your friends and family. It is not a lie. And this is usually because they feel they know you so well, they know your flaws, they know those things about you that strangers don't know, and they're not willing to take a chance on you. Sadly, in many instances, it's your close friends and family members that let you down. And if you're really unlucky, you might have the kinds of friends or family members that will be like, didn't you start this thing and it didn't work out? And you started this other thing too and it didn't work out. And you're bringing this one up now. Now, if you're not somebody who is extremely strong-willed, you can have these naysayers in your ears, and before you know it, you become completely demotivated. As somebody who is starting a side hustle, you need to have people cheering you along, giving you words of encouragement, helping you to stay motivated on those days when your spirit is low. And if you find that those people are not amongst your immediate cycle, maybe you need to find a new set of friends. Because there's nothing more disheartening than here you are trying to slug it out, and the people you think should be encouraging you are full of criticism. You didn't do this well. You shouldn't have done this. Why did you do that? And so on and so forth. So you need to find a way to steer clear of family members or friends that will make you feel small, make you lose what little confidence you have, and amplify your fears and anxieties, even if it means getting yourself a new batch of friends. This is critical. Okay? So that's point number 4. Going to point number 5. Now let's say that you've started this business. As somebody who has been earning a salary, let's assume that that's how you started, by earning a salary. When you start your own thing, it becomes very difficult to manage money. You find yourself, if you're not careful, using up both the profit and the capital at the same time. You find yourself having great difficulty keeping tabs on the money that comes in and what you're spending on replenishing your stock and so on and so forth. You really need to find somebody to help you with keeping your books. Just have a simple ledger. It doesn't have to be anything too complex. And if you're the kind of person who struggles with figures, look around you. Maybe one of your children is very good with things like that. Maybe you have a cousin or a family member or a colleague where you work that can put you through on how to maintain your accounts and make sure that you don't spend so much money that you find yourself going into debt or that the business begins to suffer. Point number 6. Well, so you've started a side hustle. How do you get customers? I actually have a whole video where I talk to you and explain how to get customers, so I will not belabor this. Usually, like I already said, most sectors that are viable and lucrative are saturated. Why would anybody want to patronize a newcomer into the sector when they already have somebody that is providing the same service for them that is reliable? That video answers this particular question. Point number 7 that you need to look out for as you start your side hustle: establishing a reputation. Establishing a reputation. What would you want your brand to be associated with? Is it punctuality, timeliness, attention to detail? Is it good customer service? Is it all of the above? What reputation are you hoping that your brand will establish? Will you be the kind of business that people patronize you and go around and tell other people that they had a wonderful experience with you and they should come check you out? Or will people want to spit you out of their mouth after just one encounter? Your reputation matters, and you need to protect it with your whole spirit if you want your side hustle to thrive. Make sure that you give people a good experience every time. When you are wrong, be ready to take criticism, be ready to apologize, and try to make sure that you have good customer relations so that they keep coming back. Very, very important. Last but not least, avoiding debt. In the course of trying to establish your side hustle, one of the problems you're going to encounter is how to raise money to get started at all. Avoid taking loans if you can help it. Ask friends, family members, well-wishers to contribute to your business. If possible, to just dash you the money. That's the term we use in Nigeria, meaning no strings attached. They should just give you a grant, no matter how small, as their contribution to your startup. Because one thing you should bear in mind is this: the first time you start your side hustle, you'll make a lot of mistakes. I'm speaking as somebody who has traveled down that road before. I started keke business, it tanked. I started an online photo contest. That also failed. I started a poultry business, it failed. So you're looking at somebody who has started and failed at a lot of side hustles. So I have a lot of experience to draw from in giving you this advice. Don't rush into anything blindly. Do adequate research, and then know if it is something that is suited to your strengths, your capabilities, your skills, and your interests. This is very, very important. One thing you should keep in mind is this: if after doing your feasibility study, you realize that you're going to need to put let's say 250,000 into getting that business off the ground, take that 250,000 and multiply it by 3. And that will bring you closer to the actual amount you're going to need if your side hustle will be successful. The reason being that there are so many things that will come up that you never envisaged. Like with the digital beauty pageant I started, for instance. How could I have ever imagined that COVID-19 would come along and make it crash? COVID-19 essentially knocked all my plans off the table. And every other fallback option I resorted to just took more money out of my pocket and did not give me the desired results. I also recall taking a loan to start a poultry some years back. And that was the year that Nigeria came down with the biggest instance of bird flu. The keke nape business, what happened? Some of them ran off with the bikes. And then it didn't take long for me to find out that those vehicles are actually they're not sturdy. They break down very easily. They're not the kind of thing you'd say is an investment. So do enough research, and whatever you're doing, do not start your business, your side hustle, on the note of taking a loan. Just don't do it. When the business is well established, you're doing well, you're keeping your books properly, you know what your profit margin is. That is, you've been able to break even and you're making a profit, you're bringing in some money. At that point, you can take a soft loan, a single-digit loan, to help scale up your business, but not from the very get-go. I hope you found these points interesting. If you found it useful, kindly share, like, comment, and subscribe. Then join me again next week.